The 1918 Nobel Prize for Chemistry was given to a German scientist for solving one of the biggest problems humanity has ever faced. His invention is responsible for the lives of so many people today. He is one of the most impactful and tragic scientists of all time, the one, the only, Fritz Haber. On December 9, 1868, in Breslau, Prussia, now known as Warsaw, Poland, a well-known German physical chemist was born. Losing his mother Paula at birth, Fritz Haber grew up as the son of Siegfried Haber, a prosperous German chemical merchant who founded his own business in dye pigments, paints, and pharmaceuticals. Being a part of one of the oldest families in town, he came from a German Jewish family involved in manufacturing enterprises. As a young boy, he went to St. Elizabeth's School at Breslau. Although it was not a chemistry school, Fritz desired to begin his studies in chemistry. In 1886 to 1891, he studied at several German universities, earning a doctorate in organic chemistry. After his studies at university, Fritz worked for his father, however that plan fell short. Showing interest in chemical technology, he decided to take up a scientific career. He became a junior assistant to Professor Ludwig Nohr at the University of Jena. This resulted in a joint paper publishment on an advanced type of ester. Afterwards, he assisted two professors interested in combustion chemistry. These professors greatly influenced and introduced Haber to the study of petroleum. In 1896, Fritz qualified for a university title with a thesis on decomposition and combustion of hydrocarbons. In 1901, he married a fellow chemist, Clara Ermenmoor. Together they had a son, Hermann. Tragically, 15 years later, she committed suicide. He then married Charlotta Nathan in 1917 and had a second son, Ludwig, and a daughter, Eva. Fritz and Charlotta divorced in 1927. All of his studies and research in physical chemistry eventually led him to the discovery of the Haber-Bosch process. In the early 1900s, Fritz Haber reached an objective long sought by many chemists, fixing nitrogen from air. Using high pressure and a catalyst, Haber was able to directly react nitrogen and hydrogen to create ammonia. His process was scaled up by Carl Bosch, a chemist and engineer, which then became known as the Haber-Bosch process. Haber's breakthrough enabled mass production of agricultural fertilizers and led him to a mass increase in growth of crops for human consumption. Despite his heroic invention of artificial fertilizers, which saved millions of people from starving to death, he went down in history as a controversial scientist. The Haber-Bosch process is also known for keeping Germany supplied with fertilizers and munitions during World War I. Ammonia can be converted into a synthetic form of Chile saltpeter, which was used as a fundamental ingredient in gunpowder and highly effective explosives. Germany's allies had access to natural forms of saltpeter in easily accessible quantities, whereas Germany had no such alternatives. Without the Haber-Bosch process, Germany would have had no means producing gunpowder and explosives. This process also developed a new weapon, poison gas, which was used in chemical warfare, killing thousands of soldiers. In 1915, the dependence of industrial countries on nitrogen-based fertilizers was undeniable. Almost 4/5 of all exports were used for military purposes. The shortage of nitrogen in Germany during World War I occurred because of the large-scale production of gunpowder and explosives. Haber lived for science, for his own sake and for the influence it has in the future. A man of science left a lasting impression on the world today. After grave illness, Fritz Haber died on January 29, 1934 in Basel, Switzerland.